a weaponized dragon companion, a demon-killing mech suit, and a whole lot of general demon slaying that I can't show you this early in the video. To 100% this game, I'll need to collect every piece of gold, fully upgrade and master every weapon in the game, and collect an ungodly amount of collectibles along the way. Today we fulfill this Slayer's dream of role-playing Captain America as I complete my 100% playthrough of Before we jump into the game, I have to select our difficulty. I decide to settle on ultraviolence. Surely my minor ego won't cause us any frustration or annoyance later on in the run. This is also your warning that this is not a family-friendly game. It's Doom. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
Another fool's errand, witch. You have wasted our time once again.
We will not leave here until the heart of Argent is found. It is close.
The Horde will tear this village to pieces, but our time is running out. Soon, the humans will summon him.
King Novi, we found their entry point. It doesn't make sense, sir.
The barrier is still holding, but our scans show that 3 portals were opened from inside the village.
The demons couldn't get past the barrier, so their followers are letting them in. Thira.
The transports. How much time?
Get me the new bishop. Valen's armored division is still an hour away.
We could try and launch the Atlands.
There's no time. Bishop Creed. We need him.
Commander. Thira, this temple must remain guarded.
The village of Kalim is a mining settlement. If it falls, everything will be destroyed, including your Sentinel energy reserves.
Launch the Slayer.
Total purification targeted for the village of Kalim. Launching the Slayer in 3, 2, 1. Release.
After this opening cutscene, I get control of the Slayer for the first time. This mission is almost entirely tutorial, taking us through how to use the shield dash, blocking enemy attacks, and the shield health bar. This is basically some sort of shield guard status, which when depleted will disable our shield for a short time. We're then also introduced to a groundbreaking new feature, the parry. Who could have seen that coming? We are then shown how to use other basic mechanics, such as the glory kill, that when used to kill a demon will drop us additional health. We then get the gauntlet, which looks very similar to what the Doomslayer had already equipped, but that doesn't really matter. The gauntlet is a melee weapon, and melee weapons in this game, when used, will cause demons to drop ammo for all your weapons. They do have limited charges, but they do recharge over time, and parrying recharges them faster than normal. Or you pick up these items on the ground to give you more charge. Continuing on, I discover the map, and am decently impressed by the quality and ease of use. Surely not something I will grow to despise as the run progresses. Dispatching some traitors to mankind, I grab a key off this poor fellow and continue pushing forward. As I clear the area, I have my first close call with death, when I thought that I couldn't take damage while performing melee attacks. Apparently I can get damage during those. Run away, run away, run away, ah! I'm not exactly sure why I thought this, but I make it out alive for now. Eating myself into a new area, I collect the Shredder, which functionally acts as a basic AR, with high accuracy and no damage fall off. Despite that the bullets just disappear past a certain range, which is a little bit strange. I collect my first life sigil, which allows for a free revive without having to respawn the last checkpoint, when of course you run out of health. After closing the final Hellgate, I collect a not so secret key. Secret key? Is it really that secret? It's a big glowy purple thing on a ledge. I locate a collectible hidden off a ledge, and enter another secret room, which upon entry feels a little bit suspicious. Oh. I thought it was just a shortcut. Hey, that's not very nice. Well, how about you guys just poof? Oh, maybe that was a bad idea. Oh no, maybe not. We're good. After nearly blowing myself out of existence while trying to dispel the demons, I collect my reward. A weapon skin. That I will not be using at all this run. Not that there was anything particularly wrong with it. I actually have no idea, as I've never even looked at what it was. I just never felt the need to equip these throughout my playthrough. I finally make use of the secret key, collected earlier, and get myself another life sigil, and then locate my first codex entry. Which at this point, I'll mention that I will be skipping over these during the normal game playthrough for pacing reasons, and if you are interested, I will put them all in the end of the video, and you can all look and read them on your own time if you would like to. Back to slaying some demons, you might be able to notice that I have not quite figured out the controls yet, as I tend to fat finger the melee button, and I'm not actually sure what I'm trying to do here, but we'll just continue on and pretend like I'm not just punching the air. I then collect another codex entry, and I'm tasked with using a turret to stop the demons that are pushing the beach. This is basically a little turret minigame where demons spawn in front of you and you just gotta not die. Really not that difficult, but makes for a decent change of pace. And after wiping out the common folk, the nearby Titan takes interest in our position and decides to push the beach. This is really nothing that special. You just shoot at it and you use these big charged bolts to take it down, and eventually he just goes down. I'm honestly not even sure if you can fail this, as you'll see later on in the game. I don't know if it's just really forgiving or if the pacing is just a little strange even in the harder difficulties.
Titan down. All remaining enemy targets have been neutralized. They lied to us. And now he has a leash.
The Makers felt a weapon as powerful as the Slayer.
Should be guided.
And you agreed.
He's not one
Of us. They want assurances. And so did I.
The beast is tearing through our ranks once again. And still, you continue to be influenced by this outsider. It is not this witch who is forced onto the battlefield against the Slayer.
All the power of hell cowering before one man. Our enemy is divided. The time is now. And the heart of Argent gives us the power to conquer the beast and crush his allies.
The Horde is yours to command. For now, Prince Azaric. I will be informing the High Council of your progress.
They fear him, and so your dominion over hell is not absolute.
Avoid the Slayer. We should focus on breaking the humans first. Then resume our search.
Sire, the demons are now targeting the Sentinel's energy relay. It powers their transdimensional barrier.
Yes?
It is an energy field which prevents the demons from opening a portal into this world.
It doesn't work.
What you see now is a result of Sentinel civilians falling under the influence of demons and opening portals for them. A mere leak in the dam, sir. If the barrier were to break,
Slayer vitals increasing. Slayer, prepped for launch.
It's remarkable how he can survive the power surge. Yes. We purify his mind and leave only his hatred for the demons. But his resistance to the Tether's influence is increasing. A request to the Creed for additional energy reserves has already been made.
Launch the Slayer immediately.
After landing into the new mission, we are dropped another weapon pod, this time receiving a shield saw that will allow us to do a few new things, such as throwing the shield to either stun large demons in place, or in fodder demons, instantly killing them. It also introduces the mechanics around superheated metal. These be metal objects that can be superheated by damaging them. Some weapons are more effective at heating metal than others, but they can all pretty much do it. Once superheated, you can throw your shield at it to shatter it. This applies to both shields as well as some enemies that have armor plating on their characters. We'll see later on in the game. I then stopped to question why the developers chose G as the interact button.
Don't know if Bethesda's ever played a PC game in their life, because using G is such a weird choice.
Getting back on track, I finally experienced my first real taste of the issues I'm going to have with the map later on with the playthrough. The layers getting a little bit in the way of seeing the other half of the map content. This only grows in pain, and it is something that is extremely infuriating for someone who played the game for 26 hours. But I'll complain about this more in a little bit. This is followed by yet another tutorial section about parries, because what an original idea to include in a game that has a shield. I don't really know why they revisited this again, but they do. So I'll go into a little bit more detail. Essentially the same thing as earlier with those green projectiles, where you can parry them if you do it at the right time. Parrying also increases charges on your melee strikes, so I mean there's that too, and also alters enemies, which is like a mini stun, I guess. But yeah, I don't know, that's basically the same thing as before. I will say that despite being unoriginal, the mechanic feels overall pretty decent. I will add that on the release version of the game, the window for the hidden parries, even on the harder difficulties, is very long, even in Nightmare difficulty. And the timing doesn't feel super great, having to parry a noticeable amount of time ahead of when you think you should be parrying, but that might just be due to animations and you having to finish your actual like weapon thing. I don't know, it just feels a little bit wrong, at least to me. Following this, we have another tutorial-like section about gold. It can be used to buy upgrades at the shrine for your weapons and shield. And that's about it. It doesn't even have an achievement tied to it directly. And that's all there is to really know. Pushing into the barracks, I realized that the shield throw has some very weird auto-aim behavior.
Can you stop going in the wrong dude?
I find a secret room that feels not so secret.
No. Oh, this doesn't feel very secret.
And break up another game of freeze tag that I wasn't invited to, collecting the blue keycard along the way. This strangely opens up the window thing, revealing the room that we were in earlier, but this time full of demons. Not really sure what took them so long. After clearing them out, I continue pushing deeper, and encounter a weird situation.
Oh, never mind. My objective. There's one last guy that's just chilling? Yeah, retrieve the plasma rifle. What do you mean? I was on the wrong touchpad.
Yeah, let's not talk about that. Either way, the plasma rifle has a neat feature. It will overcharge enemy energy shields very quickly when shooting at them. This will cause them to explode and damage nearby ones as well, which is pretty neat. I don't find this weapon particularly useful outside of this feature, however, so it remains mostly forgotten deep in Demon Slayer's pockets. I kill some more demons and stop by a nearby Sentinel Shrine and choose to upgrade my combat shotgun and receive an achievement for my troubles. Continuing on, I get a little held up on how the heck to get past this door covered in flames.
Like, shove this in there? Parkour! Yeah, there we go. Follow the trail of gold? Wait, what? Oh. Where does it go? That's also not it. What was the point of this room anyways? Nothing in here. Oh, this? Yeah!
After solving at its core is a very easy puzzle, I go back to fisting demons and try to collect a life sigil that I have no room for. At least I wouldn't have had enough room for it if I didn't get wrecked 2 minutes later and use up some of my backstock. Once I clear up this horde, I do make my way back and collect the one that I had left earlier. And after jumping down a random hole, we are introduced to these weird things that allow us to throw a shield into them and then jump towards them. Not really sure how that works, but oh well. I upgrade my melee weapon at the Sentinel Shrine, do some parkour for some secret coin, and another weapon skin I will never use. This leads us into the final battlefield level, where I apparently am still trying to prove to myself that there is some use in the plasma rifle, but it's just not there. I do eventually go back to the trusty combat shotgun.
Why can he warp around walls like that?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was, but I don't think the combat shotgun had anything to do with his death. Following this, we are introduced to our first leader demon, which is basically a slightly stronger version of any regular variety of demon, but this time much thank you. And other than that, pretty much nothing that special. Besides, upon defeat, they do drop a little bit of Demon Essence, which will upgrade one of your stats. Options being your total health, shield, or ammo capacity for a certain weapon type.
Engines online.
Neuralink established.
Oh yes, a giant mech suit, in this case called an Atlan. Which, you know, with new mechanics means another tutorial. This of course includes dashing, basic punches, which will charge up a combo circle bar thing, which allows for 2 different finishers depending on how much charge you have before using it. One being a ground fissure attack, which I am personally not a fan of, and the second being a palm strike, which is basically a supercharged slap that one-hits most demons in the mission. Needless to say, I made much more use of the latter over the course of the mission. We were then shown how to rocket punch and how to dodge, which is basically a parry from earlier but tied to a different button this time. We rocket boost into King Nova game ending to Titan with some energy cannon that apparently wasn't in the budget for us common folk, and instead are provided with a machine gun from above. This is cool and all, and it lets us supercharge it by dodging enemy attacks, even if that dodging probably shouldn't have worked, like in this case. Overall, while pretty cool, it seems less effective than just slapping the demon silly, and only lasts about 2 minutes of gameplay before we just drop it on the ground and continue on. It's time to grab this spicy demon core thingy, which apparently is supposed to be stopping the demons from breaching into the overworld, but it's now gonna explode, so we're trying to get it out of the city before it inevitably goes boom. Now running away from the city with the core, we slap some more demon silly and make an epic jump across a ravine. High-fiving some more friends along the way as we head to the mine nearby. This is where we'll be throwing the core to hopefully save the city from the impending explosion. We, however, are rudely interrupted by somebody who thinks he's the main character, and is swiftly reminded he is not.
The transdimensional barrier is offline. Demonic activity is surging. The Creed has requested an immediate report.
Return to the Sentinel barracks.
I did as you asked. Now please, let her soul be at peace.
And the heart of Argent
Is sealed in a chamber. I told you, I cannot open it. No one can.
distress signal was sent. We've tried contacting them. No response.
I sealed it from him, but it is an artifact of immense power. Forgive me.
They're inside!
The Heart of Argent, discovered in AR-722. An artifact said to contain the soul of the last Wraith. Powers and origin unknown.
Assemble the guard.
Next mission, we are introduced to mission challenges, which are exactly as they sound. Small challenges to complete throughout the mission that offer some rewards upon completion. This mission also opens with us wandering through the halls of the barracks for a while and provides us with a new weapon, the Skull Crusher Pulverizer, which, as the name suggests, throws skull fragments for ammo at unsuspecting demons. As with most weapon unlocks in the game, it gives us an opportunity right away to use the new weapon in its mostly ideal circumstances. In this case, a lot of fodder demons in close proximity, as the Pulverizer has a wide projectile spread during firing. I promptly run out of ammo, and being a doofus, I don't notice the almost limitless ammo provided on the ground and manage to burn a life sigil in this section. They do make it up to me by giving me the opportunity to make demon confetti back to back in the next room. Not long after, I get confused about how to get up on this ledge to get this gold and decide to circle back later. I fall down into the abyss thinking that's the way forward. It's not.
Oh, oops.
And find my way into this fairly arena-shaped room. Wow. Who could have expected it? An ambush. After clearing up, I find some hidden gold and another life sigil in a secret room. And the game hands me my first ruby. This can be used at the Sentinel Shrine to unlock higher tier upgrades on weapons. As well as another new weapon, the Impaler. This gun is meant to be a heavy hitter with a high headshot multiplier that falls in the same class and shares an ammo pool with the Shredder. And is mostly ignored after I realized it has a massive bullet drop and really not something I really like to use. I cleared the demons meant for testing the Impaler with my much preferred spike weapon and stopped to upgrade my shield as well as the Shredder despite the game for the more recently acquired yet much inferior weapon, and rounded out with making my shotgun fire in 3 round bursts and drop even more armor pickups when damaging demons. While trying out the newly upgraded weapon, I get some interesting news.
Mobilize the Slayer's dragon.
Dragon? I have a dragon? You say? After hearing this revelation, I continue pushing deeper through the demon hordes and must have forgot how to use my shield, as I have a much more difficult time crossing this bridge than I probably should have. On the other side of this bridge, I decided to give the Impaler another chance against the leader demon, and decided to switch back to the combat shotgun to finish the job. I make another excellent jump across the gap, kill some cultists, collect another ruby, a weapon skin, some more gold, and a codex entry. After I'm done collecting my random shiny objects, while the city is actively under siege, I finally continue on to find myself against our first boss, a Vagary champion. These guys have a weird mechanic where they build up stun over time, and upon filling this bar will be stunned for a little bit and take some extra damage. Or so I'm told, at least. It doesn't feel very much increased anyway, but it does give me some time to just lay into them without, getting absolutely harassed. I do manage to burn 2 of my 3 life sigils in this fight.
That insta-kills you, huh?
Yep, apparently even with over 120 health, you still get one shot by this guy. But I do make it through it and kill the champion for another achievement.
Aviary unlocked. Clear the Slayer's launch pad.
thrusters online.
Now it's dragon time. This of course comes with a whole host of new tutorials on how to boost, how to ascend, descend, lock on into assault mode, which is essentially just a way to lock on and uses a similar dodge mechanic that the Atlands did earlier. Which, similar to the Atlands, upon perfect dodges, you get a powered up plasma cannon on your dragon. This allows you to deal extra damage and take out shields of certain enemy types. So it's kind of just the same. I will, however, say that the finishers are a little bit more satisfying. Of course, later we'll make use of all these mechanics that are shown to us, especially this charged up ability of when you're doing perfect dodges, as there'll be lots of force fields that we need to work through that the normal bolts just can't. I then am tasked to land, thinking the dragon portion is already over of this mission, and it's just showing a mechanic off actually that you can land. And then I just hop right back on the dragon. Cool.
Novik, the Slayer is en route.
Assault mode engaged.
Finally arriving to the main portion of the mission, we are tasked with taking out 4 hell ships powering the force field around the cathedral. To do this, we destroy all the normal cannons on the ship, and then are able to destroy this big eye-looking thing. After this is completed, the ship kind of half crashes, and then we're able to board and work our way through the hordes, well, on board. Eventually making our way to this core thing of the ship, which the first ship spawns a leader demon, which does slap me around a little bit. Luckily there was a full heal further back up on the platform for me to grab, which allowed me not to burn any life sigils, and finish him shortly after for a shotgun shell capacity increase. I then get a little bit confused on how to break the core, but I do eventually figure it out. I stop to give a Titan a free adjustment.
Oh yeah, breathe into his mouth. Oh no, this is different.
This opens up a landing spot, which of course, you know, I land. Break this portal thing, which has caused a lot of demons to spawn, including another leader, this time for a health upgrade. Find a hidden room below for some free gold, and I'm satisfied with my looting, and move on to the other ships. These are largely the same. You take out the turrets, land on the ship, kill some demons, get to the end and fight some sort of large demon or large horde. This time being a new entry that can spawn a spike from the ground and will inevitably cause me to take a brief dirt nap. I had to come back to punch him in the nards and finish him, and moved on to the next. Same as the last, but I did get another gun. The Cycler.
Ooh, gun? Why is this on their ship?
This is another energy weapon and has much better range and accuracy than the Accelerator, so eventually will become my go-to when I need an energy weapon. Flying past, I stop to help the men on the ground with their demon fighting and continue on to the fourth shift, which, in the process I receive another gun, the Super Shotgun. Not much to say here. It's the Super Shotgun. It's basically a delete button for all the tankier demons, at least in close range, and is very satisfying to me. It did feel a little suspicious that this last Hellcarrier didn't have a big boss fight thing at the end, but I'll take it as the mission seemed excessively long as it is. With the carriers down and the force field down with it, I am finally able to land the cathedral. Look at what upgrade the Super Shotgun has, and realize I can't afford any. Then continue to fight another spider mini-boss thing. Overall, it went okay. Despite me having to step away from the main fight to collect some health from the floor, as well as some other weaker demons to try and survive it, the big fella went down and we make it to the main chamber of the cathedral.
ignite the charges.
The ships are refueling, sire. We should be ready to leave as soon as the cruisers are done loading.
Very good. Get to your ship. I thought you left for the command station. Everyone is evacuating.
So you are holding on to it?
Until we get to the location. A new vault is being built.
Then let the Slayer guard it.
If what they say is true, then this is a part of our heritage, not the Maker's. Valen, are you seeing anything?
No sign of activity, sir. Maybe he didn't survive.
I doubt it, but...
Demonic threat level increasing.
Can you take the thing out of my chest now, or am I just going to overpower it myself? Oh, yikes.
Should we launch the Slayer now? The Sentinels will be overrun.
Then what about us?
Now we're going in. We're going in, right? Break out of it. There we go. Yeah. Need to go slay demons. How dare you keep me in here? Nuh-uh. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah.
Turn it off before he kills us all!
Really?
It would appear that the Slayer no longer wishes to be detained here.
Shield power down to 35%.
Should we terminate his life functions?
And destroy the Conmaker's prized possession.
34.
I think you'd have a hard time doing that anyways.
That tether on him.
33.
We can still have a hand in his fate.
32.
Sound the alarm! Prepare for battle!
King Novik, there is an urgent call from the Creedmaker.
Lord Novik, a large horde is headed toward your position. We are launching the Slayer now. Please send forces immediately to ensure our safety.
Thank you, Bishop Creed.
By the gods.
Engaging deflector shield.
Lord Novik, it's a massive
force. 3 legions word.
The hangar is blockaded, sire. No one can get in or out.
The next mission has us walking through another seemingly pointless part of the map for a not insignificant amount of time, similar to the last level. Mind you, this time, I did have to open a door with my shield for the first time. Not sure how the common folk would open this door, but an interesting way to introduce a new mechanic, I guess. After some more walking, we are rewarded for hitting our fitness goals of the day with a new melee weapon, the flail. It's like the gauntlet, but different. On a more serious note, it has a longer cooldown, but is more effective against armor and shields. It also has much better upgrades in my opinion, so it will become my primary weapon, for my melee category at least, for the foreseeable future. Flail in hand, we enter the battlefield, and it's not looking great. Demons are knocking at the front door, and not a living sentinel in sight. Oh well, time for the Doomslayer to do what he does best. Wiping out the nearby horde, we encounter 2 new enemies. A brain demon thing with a mounted turret, and a tank. The latter being no big deal and die to a single parry to their cannon, but the former being a reoccurring nuisance throughout a significant portion of the playthrough. This is probably very well a skill issue on my part, however, and is probably not actually that he's a difficult enemy. They just happen to have a lot of range, and I feel like they actually outrange the Shredder in a lot of cases, so it's kind of annoying, especially if you're fighting some other stuff while they're shooting at you the whole time. To assist with the skill issue, I do collect another life sigil as I had run out in previous encounters, and return to slapping the nearby demons into the middle of next week. I collect a shiny rock, secret key, then get jump scared by a tentacle thing while killing demons in between. I also encounter a shiny dog statue, which I learned would break if I threw my shield at it. By some recycled bosses, more statues, and general running around while killing demons in between. This mission feels like 90% running and 10% fighting, which kind of ruins this mission for me, as the map is huge, albeit it is flat, so the viewable map is actually useful-ish here. Problem I have here is that the map is huge, and the demon war that's supposed to be happening right now just kind of feels like I'm walking through this field and there's just, some demons chilling. I find another sus room and get exactly what I expected. Ambushed and buy another one of these chunky things, which results in me burning through my last life sigil. You know, the one that I just earned like 3 minutes ago? Cool. Sketchy portal opens, sketchy dudes. Gold and pretty basic puzzles. More gold and some fire jets inside a cave.
Love being on fire in the water. That makes...
After getting jump scared by a fireball around the corner, I finally make it to the cultists, delete them, and return to the surface. From here, we encounter our first morale leader fight. These require us to deplete a small purple bar by killing regular demons before we can deal damage to the main leader demon. Killing stronger demons drains this bar faster, and, weaker demons slower. Despite reading the instructions, my monkey brain starts shooting at the leader despite having a very apparent shield around him in the form of these comical icons circling him. I return back after fully draining the bar and he goes down quickly, and it's not a very exciting fight. I stop at a sentinel shrine and upgrade the super shotgun twice, increasing its fire rate and damage to armor. Hey look, another recycled boss enemy. For the second time this mission. I still managed to die to it, however. Round 2 goes better, and I cleared the demons in the area. Another spider dude? Are you serious? At this point, I was over the mission and the endless mini-bosses. It had mixed in with all the filler fights. So I'm going to save us both some time and cover the next 40 minutes in less than 40 seconds. Weapon skin, shiny rock, suspicious room, ambush in the suspicious room, portal, sketchy dudes, puzzle, new weapon, shoot chain, big owl, charge for bigger owl, no more sketchy dudes. Upgrade the flail, return to the castle, door locked. Amumus, Finally loading to the next mission, we are now back inside the castle and have another minigun section, where we must hold off the incoming waves with the turret. This one is a bit longer and still ends with a Titan. This time the Titan gets a lot closer, and as he goes to whack me, time just slows down? What the hell, Bethesda? This feels comical. Either way, the Titan is taken out, and I continue on my onslaught through the castle with upgraded super shotgun and ricochet upgrade on my shield. Oh yeah, got a ricochet upgrade on my shield. Utura stuff bounces around more. Pretty cool. I also managed to burn through 2 of the life sigils back to back. Not even 2 minutes later, I try to strafe into a full heal, miss it, and burn my 3rd and final life sigil. Luckily, it was enough to get me through the fight, which rewards me with another health upgrade. I stopped to upgrade my shredder twice to hopefully reduce my dirt naps. I also upgrade the accelerator, hoping it will be less buns, but time will tell. It's still buns.
No more tricks, old king.
Thera, if the tether is removed, the Makers... their directive was clear. What would you have us do?
Nothing.
It can't be removed. We scanned it. It's wired to a detonator.
That demon, he's after something. You saw that. We call it the Heart of Argent. Anyone who wields it, they'd have the power of a god. Stronger than maybe even you. But the heart is incomplete. It's made up of 2 parts. The other half is a power source, and we don't know where it is.
Valen's search party is still active.
If he ever gets control of it, that much power in Hell's hands, none of us would survive.
Unlock the Ancestral Forge.
I ask only to be heard.
the Ministry.
You are stranded in this realm.
There is no one left to trust.
That is why you allow me to speak. Help us.
Getting dropped into a very aesthetic forest, a very long way from the ancestral forge, and begin thunking our way forward. Collecting a life sigil, ow, doing some parkour, and getting confused about the map design yet again. It looks like a hole, but it's very much not one. We encounter a new type enemy this mission, and overall, I have limited complaints. Despite not being able to get the timing for the parry right away, overall pretty fun, and not super annoying. I will mention now that while I work my way through the forest, that the coloring may look a little dull in the gameplay, and would like to apologize as I recorded this gameplay in SDR when playing in HDR, so this is 100% my bad.
I just wanted to say sorry if it has been bothering you. Promise the game looks a lot better when you're not a dingus recording it in the wrong color grade. I then go to lay down to think about what I did.
I then stop and upgrade my shield to the final upgrade and receive an achievement for doing so. Then promptly return to slaying demons. This area was a bit of a pain as I died a large magnitude of times.
Why am I taking so much damage?
All the while not realizing these demons were being boosted by a flag demon, which increases their damage dealt and heavily reduces the amount of damage taken. All the while, this dude, and it's a normal fodder demon, just chilling in the back. I felt really silly after dying all those times and just finally noticing this, but oh well. I get to feel even sillier after counting this secret room and being immensely confused on how the heck to open this cage for this collectible. Going as far to find another secret room and progressed.
So I ended up progressing even further along the mission, only to come back and realize that there's a relatively obvious shield throw thing on the wall.
And then a chain thing you throw your shield into. I don't know what they're called these things, but whatever. Yeah. That was awkward. It happens quite a bit more though, so whoops. Continuing on, down an elevator, we receive our first explosive weapon, the grenade launcher, which is, quite a good time. We also encounter a new boss. This guy quickly game ends me, and we try again. The thing about this guy is that unless you are within melee range, he gets a permanent shield that cannot be broken, and will shoot these projectiles, which the outer two have homing. And on top of that, getting hit by any of these will break your shield guard, and make it so you cannot shield dash or parry for the cooldown time, which can then allow him to shoot another set of projectiles, which will then break shield again, and then it's a vicious cycle, which makes fighting this guy not the most ideal. This isn't a huge issue as there's only one enemy to contend with, but this won't remain permanently, as you may have noticed that we've already seen recycled enemies. I do eventually make it through this, receiving an achievement, and I end that chapter with a whopping 66% completed. Oh. Oops. We arrive finally into the forge and are tasked with reactivating it. But I first struggle very much with trying to activate this Sentinel Shrine and use it to upgrade my chain shot. I then get shot again by some of my least favorite enemies, which as you can see can shoot you when I can't shoot it. Very fun indeed, Bethesda. Thank you. You know what is pretty fun?
Launching myself into orbit somehow.
Useful? No. Fun? Yes. I proceed to get murked by these large demons with their floor spikes they spawn. I burn a sigil, and eventually do make it to the first of the 3 switches to activate the forge. Some more reused boss demons and running around. I find a couple more statues to shatter. And since I didn't mention these before when I had them in the last mission, I'll mention them now. These, when you break them, after doing enough of them, will actually unlock a treasure of some sort when you collect them all. This time, they grant us our first Wraithstone.
I flick the second switch for the forge, and stop at the nearby Sentinel Shrine to see what upgrade options are available with her newly discovered stone. After some careful deliberation, I decide to go with the Super Shotgun, and before leaving I also upgrade the Flail, to drop even more armor pickups on use. This is one of the reasons why I believe the Flail to be one of the best melee weapons in the game, because who doesn't want more armor pickups? It's kind of fantastic. I flip the final switch for the forge, which spawns another one of these guys.
Looks like we have another case of reusing bosses, but this time it's one with the extremely annoying mechanics. This surely won't get old over the next few hours of gameplay, right? The upgraded Super Shoddy does make this a lot easier, so I am glad for that. I get bamboozled by a puzzle and get a cutscene after cleaning out a few more demons.
No signs of the demons, Thera.
We won't have much time. The Ancestrals never really die. The heart endures, and we harvest the energy. Svara, nim unvec anme veseque. Svara, nim unvec anme veseque.
They're here, falling back. We'll meet you at the exit.
This entire cutscene essentially unlocked the new mechanic called Shield Runes. Each one of these are a little bit different, but the first one given to us is Ground Fissure, and we were given an opportunity to use it right away. All these Shield Runes activate off parrying any Hell Surge attack, which can be triggered pretty often, but I'm not a huge fan of the Ground Fissure one, so when we get a new one, I'll be pretty much instantly replacing it. I'll clean up the demons and end the mission. Still missing stuff. What the heck am I missing all the time?
I can help you target her location. And the Slayers, using the tether.
Yes, that would be most useful.
No harm must come to her. She is the heart of Argent.
Then why didn't she use her sorcery against us?
The true scope of that human's power is unknown to her. The ceremony, it must take place in my world. heart is found. Now give to me what is owed. Return our god to us.
Close the gate.
Not even in hell, I check out the mission challenges and get right back to slapping demons around. During this, we also encounter a more powerful armored version of one of my least favorite demons. We get a new weapon drop as well, the rocket launcher. This outshines the grenade launcher in basically every way in my eyes, so it'll become our go-to explosive weapon. I then failed to be able to switch to the launcher to take out this horde, and have to use my other options in my induced panic. I do get to make good use of it shortly after, and I will say it is good fun, and a decently solid option to deal with the newly discovered or annoying turret thing of whatever the heck this thing is.
I slay countless other demons and see a familiar projectile in the process. Huh. Must have been the wind.
I get jump scared by some floor tentacles, this time in mini form. I then spend way longer than I probably should have trying to get into this area, thinking it was a puzzle. It was not. I continue along the mission markers, collecting another health upgrade and destroying the first cannon.
This causes some demons to spawn in, and after working my way through them, I make my way onto the second cannon. But first, check to see if that room I've looked at earlier has opened up yet. It has not.
Another demon leader and some cannon destruction later, we now need a power core, and that fenced off area now opens on its own. Now, I'm no expert in level design, but maybe we could have done this a little differently to leave less confusion for players, or maybe I'm just a super dingus. I don't know, but I do know I am sure glad to not have seen another one of those stupid mini-boss things. Even if this means I see other mini-boss enemies, I'll take it. I collect the power core, as well as a second Wraith Stone, and use it to fully upgrade my Cycler.
A final wave of demons and some treasure brings this mission to a close at 99%. Well, guess we'll be coming back to this later.
Autopilot engaged. System reboot in progress.
This next mission is another Atlan one, and while the mechanics for these are overall pretty simple, the satisfaction of just finessing the demons feels so good. This time they are a bit stronger and have a few new tricks up their sleeve, but so do we. This time we are provided with a super mega shotgun thing, which just kind of obliterates demons. Probably one of my most fun segments of this entire game. Sadly, this is abruptly ended when we get out of our Atlan not 10 seconds later. I upgrade the previous shield rune we unlocked to receive another one, not 20 steps further up the path. Don't get me thinking, gonna give me another shield rune when I just upgraded the previous one. Holy Swarm. Launch out Seeking Blades in a wide arc. These places will hunt down and kill target. Damn it! I then stopped to check my mission challenges and realized I failed to complete a challenge that needed to be done while I was still in the Atlan, which means I'll have to do this entire mission all over again. I make my way up to the castle and open the gate, questioning the security logic of having the gate open from the outside. You think you'd have the locks inside, just... I take in the view and then bunny hop my way into the castle to assert dominance. I collect some gold along the way, only to reach the main chamber to be stood up by Azurim and have to fight another one of his stupid things. Is that all you guys are going to throw at me? Is just these guys at this point on? I was completely unaware about how right I was about this, but let's carry on. The super shotgun does make this significantly more effective, and I'm super glad to have chosen it for my upgrade earlier. I end the mission with 94%, which is no big deal, as I did fail the one mission challenge and knew I would have to return anyways. Spawning into the next mission, I get yelled at for lack of security clearance.
Security clearance required.
What do you mean? I'm the Slayer.
Access denied.
Really?
Access denied.
So... you're gonna lock me up? Well, you need me to help you. After finally being let out of this room, which feels excessively long just to pad game time or just to annoy the player and ruin the pacing, I then get to run through more empty halls and vents. Okay, maybe not completely empty, but this is no excuse. I finally get a little bit of action before promptly getting confused again by level design. I then add our final gun to the arsenal, the Ravager, which increases its fire rate over time while shooting, but reduces movement speed as a trade-off. It also happens to deal increased damage at close range. I do get to take it for a spin, and it is rather fun, but not really my cup of tea, so it doesn't see a bunch of use. I collect another health upgrade, and accidentally fall into a secret area along the way. Some more pew-pewing, collect a key card, and then controlled by the game yet again, by not grabbing this ledge when I jump across. After examining the map and looking around some, I learned that there is no way to return to this location after you pass this area. So I will have to redo this entire mission again to collect this for 100%. Thanks, Bethesda. I collect another shield room. This one spawns an aimbot turret on activation for a short duration. This shield room quickly becomes my favorite and is pretty much used for the majority of the rest of the game. A short time later, the mission comes to an end and we see that the next mission will involve our little flying friend. Unfortunately, this mission is basically the same as the last. Take out big ships, destroy fighter ships for gold, and land to kill demons. I will say I am glad that I didn't have to land on these ships to take them down this time, but overall, these missions aren't that fun to me. This mission is also partially ruined, the fact that when I did have to inevitably land to fight demons, we had another one of these guys, while also being harassed by a constant amount of projectiles, all at once. We do clear it out though, and we take off once again, and fight whatever this nasty thing is before landing again to fight more. I will say that this fight was a lot more enjoyable without the Egredon demon thingy constantly spamming homing missiles at my face when I decided to shoot another demon for even a second.
All hell gates closed. All tentacles have been cleared. Threat neutralized.
The next mission opens up with a huge fight, which is very satisfying, and a new boss demon type thing, which I greatly underestimate the range of, but it's my must preferred option to the other dude. I think mainly because his projectiles don't instantly break your shield, and the lack of invulnerability shield when more than 3 feet away from him.
The Church wants the Creed and Thera safely returned, and they're willing to help. According to the Makers, inside this tomb is a deity that will lead you to their location. The Bishop's ministry has asked that the Slayer alone take this mission. They trust no one else. I cannot disobey the Church, but will be on alert.
more dragon stuff. Don't get me wrong, I love this cute little guy, but I do not like its mechanics that are baked into the game much at all. This mission was an even worse offender, with its large empty space between objectives, and while it does look cool, it feels pretty empty to me. I do get my 4th and final shield rune for my troubles, however, which is neat, I guess. Didn't replace my turret, so I won't really mention it here. It's just a different playstyle, and they're all kind of the same overall. I swim through another cave that is booby-trapped, for unknown reasons, for a ruby. I burn a life sigil, and follow a yellow brick road to replace the one I lost. I then upgrade the Ravager and the auto-turret shield rune. I then fist this glowy thing, which apparently is part of the restraints holding this beast thing that we are trying to free. Flying around a bit more, I fight some more demons along the way for a magical restraint thing too. After another free adjustment, courtesy of the dragon, and another one of these things, we get restraint 3. Followed by some more running around, another big dude and his posse later. Oh. It's a turret. Looks painful. Acquire the ballistic... Oh, wait, what? Do I get to keep this? Oh. It looks like I just killed it. I don't know if I actually... I think I was supposed to wake it up, not do that. Or is that a cage for it? Just, yoink. The Ballistic Force Crossbow, or BFC. No other acronym here besides the official, obviously. We do have a fun little section to make all this painful flying around worth it, where we are fed an almost limited supply of bolts to unleash onto any demons in our path. I do fail to jump this gap and fall into the abyss though. I take a tranquil swim and some more BFC carnage later. We have another little fun secret room full of melee charges, and a seamlessly endless supply of Hell Knights to use them on. I try to make a jump that I'm very much not supposed to make, somehow missing this very apparent weak metal piece that I'm supposed to break. Having broken all the other safeties, we return to the surface and reactivate the main switch, wrapping up the mission.
Oxygen levels depleting. Creed Maker, signal lost. Commander Thera, signal detected.
After floating through whatever the heck that was, we find ourselves in a very strange world and a portal that materializes just to be blocked off. There are these cool little launch things, which are quite fun, but overall this mission is quite unremarkable story-wise. And outside of the introduction of 3 new enemies, there's really nothing special. These new enemies are, however, these funky looking guys, which game end me a couple times, but are overall pretty alright and enjoyable. Then there's these weird witch demon thingies, which have 2 entities spawned in, but only one is ever vulnerable at a time, which is also pretty fun. And then we have the Coco demons, or these frickin' things, which are not too big of a deal if they're alone, but they quickly work their way up to being one of my most annoying demons I will encounter, especially when they're grouped with other demons. I also collect our final melee weapon, which I kind of forgot was still missing from Arsenal. Probably because I didn't really use it very much, because I didn't really like it. It's basically a mace on steroids, where you only have one swing, but hitting an enemy with that deals more damage than the mace by default, and refills all your ammo completely on use. It does lack the regenerative health armor pickup things that are present with the mace, so it is kind of worse, at least in my opinion. The rest of this mission is, again, pretty uninspiring, with its puzzles and overall environment being more annoying than actually interesting, at least in my opinion. Oh, and you know how I mentioned me hating the Coco Demons? This end fight for the mission is a large reason why. Lots of the enemies in this fight are very aggressive, and the whole time you're trying to focus your attention on these guys that can like 1 or 2 hit you, while being shot at by these Coco Demons and all these other crap that are shooting at you at once. And it's just kind of a pain in the butt. I die. A lot. I clicked the button! And while this is largely a skill issue, and me being too stubborn to just go back to the default difficulty, I do eventually say enough is enough and use the nuclear option, and finally move on to the next mission. I unfortunately did miss some items earlier, so I will have to return this mission, but I will cross that bridge when we get there. We are immediately dumped into the next mission with no cutscene, and I immediately get sucked into a secret area that is trippy as heck, and takes me far too long to realize what is happening. Finally figuring out what is happening, I do grab this ruby, which got me into this mess to begin with. After some more demon slaying, including another one of these fellas.
Like, is this the only thing the game knows how to actually spawn? Like, it's really getting kind of sick of it. I'm just saying. I've killed, like, so many of these, and they're not even difficult. That's not good. Another shield one. I feel like I haven't had a health one in a while, but, I mean, I'll take it.
I shove my head into a suspicious fluid for a piece of an artifact, I guess. I encounter an even more trippy room than last, all for a single gold crate. I am then pleasantly surprised that we finally get a different boss for this horde.
I'm guessing the boss is going to be one of the ones that I hate again, because it's... oh, no, it's not. That's kind of wild, actually.
I collect the other piece of this artifact, and they can join them in this temple thing.
Like, I get it. You spent time programming how to swim, but I don't really think this is required here, just saying. I mean, it does look pretty cool.
A terrible BFC shot and a dirt nap later, I insert the artifact key into its receptacle. An unreasonable amount of swimming.
Really, you're gonna make me swim a 1/4 of a kilometer in my suit.
Followed by a room full of demons, which results in many deaths, was the first time I seriously considered turning the difficulty down, as I was extremely annoyed. I was still too stubborn though, and I've come this far, so I didn't want to go through with it, and eventually did get through. This room, in particular, was problematic. One being the large amount of aggressive demons in a tight space, and just annoying big tanky guys with not really a whole lot of health pickups. I did eventually get through. In hindsight, I can recall how annoyed I was in this fight, but also not exactly sure that it was this bad, or just the culmination of me dying a lot more in general and just being frustrated. I did decide to, of course, stay on the difficulty, being stubborn as all hell. We then have even more swimming. Seriously, stop padding the game time. We do get a short break in the form of another endless melee charge room, which felt quite cathartic at the time. And finally, at long last, complete the cesspool of a level.
Alert. Unknown entity approaching.
Oh well. Is it a fish? Someone who needs to cut their nails? Cool. Is that the guy that I let go? My boy? What's up, dude? We chill, right? Right? No, up. I thought we were chill, bro. It looked like the guy we let out. Maybe not the same guy? Why are there demons in here?
Well, speaking of cesspool, here we are. The whole goal of this mission is basically to cause as much physical damage as possible to this thing, while fighting the demons that are in his stomach, for some reason. I also want to take the moment to seriously question the logic of this dude who ate the bloody Doomslayer while he was still alive, and expected it to turn out okay. Overall, this mission is really not that exciting, with no new demons, but we do get the addition of stomach acid, which burns your little toes at an alarming rate, even if I'm in like a metal suit. If that wasn't bad enough to have to deal with when fighting one of my least favorite demons, I also get to fight another one of one of the most annoying demons on my list, in an arena mostly covered by this stomach acid. While the demon is being boosted by a flag demon that is unreachable. This makes this fight from a normal Tuesday demon slaying to a true annoyance that I did not expect. Once I escaped, I took my anger out on that flag bearer. Then, on the idiot dumb enough to eat a borderline immortal being with enough weaponry to take out the hordes of hell.
Are we just looking at it like, oh. Oh, okay. I think we're a little bit close to that, just saying. No. This is not the thing we freed. You think it would not try to munch on us? Not very nice. Wakey wakey. Lemon bakey. The next mission, I am really fed up with this endless Agrodon demon spawning. And, like, game, like, you guys were cool and all for the first, like, 3 times, but, like...
The thing is, I wouldn't be so annoyed if the projectiles didn't only break your shield on hit, or if those projectiles didn't constantly get sent at you, breaking your shield in an endless cycle where you can't actually get close to the demon to shoot him because your shield's broken, and if you don't have a shield, you can't parry his attacks, which means you just die. Then on top of this shield break, they constantly knock you back when you parry their attacks, which is bad enough, but then they just dash away sometimes. I'm just really sick of these annoying mechanics, and having multiple in one enemy, while also sometimes having to fight other enemies that just make it even more annoying. It's just bad game design. Or maybe I'm just bad. I don't know. And part of this might just be the fact that they didn't think about how quickly a shield breaks in the higher difficulties. In normal difficulty, this isn't really a problem because one of his attacks don't instantly break your guard. And maybe it'll be fine. But it is infuriating. Either way, moving on. This will be the last time I bitch about these things.
Is too powerful. Even for you. The Sentinels know so little about themselves. She has the spirit of an ancient Sentinel god within her. A wraith who are descendants of this realm. Here, her energy becomes fully realized. And it can be harnessed. something more permanent. Etrigos Zaraf Maziker.
The Creed came back, alone.
And the Slayer?
Nothing.
Get him on. Bishop Creed. Where is Thera?
The Slayer came, and there was a struggle. We should leave. Now.
Everyone out, now. They are rage, brutal, without mercy. But you will be worse. Rip and tear, until it is done.
Waking up wherever the heck this is, looking very dead, we get introduced to a new mechanic, which has limited use, but is basically just a super buff to the Slayer, where the weapons consume no ammo, you deal extra damage, take less of it, and it's just overall a pretty fun time. So, after taking out some range on the nearby demons, I do need to get out of here. Not really sure where here is, but in some sort of afterlife-esque area. You guys can tell me in the comments below.
That's not water. I don't know if I want to go swimming in that. I don't know if I have a choice. That is gross.
Signal detected. A beacon is emanating from the mortal plane.
Mortal plane. Then what? Where am I? Can I read this? No? Slayer doesn't know how to read? That's kind of unfortunate. Oh. Ghosts.
Okay, so ghost distractions aside, we are looking for some sort of vessel. Fighting through demons as necessary. I also get this little strafe shot off, which felt pretty good, so I did decide to include it. Take a dirt nap from one of my least favorite demons, even though I thought I was already dead? I then grab an arcane totem, which I guess is the keycard or key of the underworld, and issue a leader demon a dirt nap, administered by BFC injection. Apparently, I had not waken up fully from my nap, as I didn't make it across this gap, but I'm given another berserk mode to assist in my morning ritual of demon slaying. I grab another glorified keycard. Please feel free to roast me if I just did not pay proper attention to the story, as I don't really understand what the lore behind them being skulls are. I then climb aboard the Harbinger of Souls.
Big door. Oh, it's you.
Payment required.
Or that different guy from hell, but I don't know. Looks like the guy from earlier in the game.
And we are granted with another berserk to assist in clearing it out.
Oh wait, what? There's a thing?
And eventually make it to the front of the ship.
Why, just wake up in the middle of a forest? Very sketchy looking forest, that's for sure. Spooky. All the sketchy blood river. So am I out of the the hell area now, or do I have to go up here first? Some spooky sounds. Oh, now I go back. Okay, I don't know. Chris.
By blood right, we invoke the dark powers to call upon the damned.
Wait, why is the helmet fixed all of a sudden? I don't understand. It was broken. Oh, are they trying to bring me back?
I'm going back.
And I'm coming back, bitches. It's a new helmet, I'm guessing. Back in the world of the living, with King Novuk's forces surrounded, I decide there is no better time to upgrade my weapons. I then continue pushing my way through demons back to the fortress. Along the way, acquiring the achievement for acquiring all demonic essence armor upgrades. Thank you. Acquire all demonic essence armor upgrades. Let's go. And then I finally get picked up by my trusty dragon. Luckily, this is just about boarding the ship and not a significant waste of time. This time, we do have to push our way through the Creed, which is a bit strange, but probably feels good to the Slayer after being locked up under their control for so long. And before long, we arrive at the main chamber.
Prince Ezric, please, help me.
Oh, it's it.
I
That's
can
a weird
still
one.
be of service.
No. No, you can't. I'm going to make sure of that. This begins a boss fight, which is pretty easy, not requiring much thought. Everything is easy to dodge, and I had no issues with this fight. It feels like I'm in like a bad turn-based RPG, or I don't really even know. And before I knew it, it was over. Or at least that's what I thought. Finish him! Ew, gross.
I'm worth more to you alive than dead. I can bring you Prince Ezric.
Oh. This is different. I don't really know if it's hard different, because I can literally still just... It's just the same fight, but now with big walls. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. He does add a few more attacks, like this damage orbs he drops, and adds whatever this floaty thing is, which I don't really know what it does, but I broke it whenever I saw it. The fight was too short to really notice it doing anything. Finish him! Really, game? 1 HP, you just left him on?
Wait! Thera. Ezric is keeping her alive on his ship. If she dies, his power would die with her. I can take you to her.
It won't be ready in time, sir.
Refueling complete. Royal Atlan online.
He's gonna give me his? Come on. Come on. Give it to me. Come on. Oh, I'm just going out anyways. That's still pretty fucking badass. Oh, he did give me his. Actual legend, bro.
Fire!
Got a cool cape and everything. I don't know how practical it would be. I feel like it would get stuck and stuff, but I am so glad to have a change up with another outlet mission. And this one is even more satisfying because this time we get another combo attack option, which takes the form of these chunky ass cannons, which just obliterate anything in its path. So I have a pretty good time ripping through the hordes in this thing. Our objective here is to destroy a few siege towers and the demons protecting them, which I have a wicked good time doing. Budget? Or what? No. Owing. Yeah, but... Yes, but actually no. Where's my objective? Oh, I see. After getting reorientated, I make my way to the next tower, and after clearing out some more demons, I receive a weapon drop. I was extremely excited for this, to see what the game had in store, but unfortunately it was just the original minigun from the first mission. Not that it was a bad thing per se, but I would have just preferred the shotgun thing instead, or even just being left with the mega cannons I had on my back. Again, I ditched this within like 60 seconds of picking it up, and go to clear the last siege generator. Now we get to fight the old one, which is our first boss fight inside of the Atlan. I think this is the same thing that we freed earlier in the game, so it kind of makes sense that we have to clean up our mess. But this fight is very different than the other stuff experienced in the rest of the Atlan missions. Not that I'm complaining, as this fight was super fun, but there was a lot of stuff I didn't know what to do with, so I did take quite a bit of damage while learning his moveset. This is mostly from prematurely trying to return damage back to him while he was still completing a combo attack, which stuns me and resets my combo charge bar. That looks bad, that looks bad, that looks bad, that looks bad. It would have been bad, yep. That does indeed look very bad. Luckily, panic dashing away was enough to save me from whatever the heck that was. Now, the one thing about this fight is that when he reached 0 health, he just stayed there for a very long time and just kept damaging me. I'm not sure if this was intentional or it was just some sort of bug, but it took so long for this fight to actually end. I actually almost died from completely full health, like 15 minutes beforehand. Like, this fight went on for multiple minutes of him just being on 0 health. It was very weird. I did finally manage to finish him off after being on 0 health for like a very long time and almost being 0 health myself.
one they fear.
Now we finally get to fight Azric. And his attacks are much more aggressive than I expected right off the bat, which causes me to take much more damage than I would have liked to. This fight, besides this, is relatively straightforward. There's nothing particularly special about it. His attacks are rather aggressive, but it's nothing that we can't handle, especially due to the fact that there is no other enemies attacking us during this fight. Because of this, I only have to burn one life sigil before it ends.
This is true power.
Oh no, you got a paper cut. You got boo-boo. Gross. What the hell, man?
Well, let me rephrase that. I only had to burn one life sigil on this first, much easier phase. And outside of being just generally a bit more difficult with more crap going on, this fight is not really that much worse or different. So we do burn another life sigil and we wrap this up in not that much time. So I won't bore you with the nitty gritty of me whacking him with a rocket launcher and then slapping him in the face with a flail, as it's really not that exciting. I have another hand, buddy. Just saying. Ow. What a nice buddy. If he's gonna die here, isn't he? In the end, to save me, because I saved him earlier in his life. I'd be so sad. Don't you dare hurt my little buddy. Oh no. No! You're a bitch. No! Now you really pissed him off. You shouldn't have done that. Not sure who genius idea would be to ultra piss off the Doomslayer, but it's time for Azric to go. The fight remains largely the same, outside some pretty basic / kind of gimmicky attacks that don't really feel all that difficult. It is kind of just the same thing that we've had, which is kind of underwhelming, but what can we really do about it? Either way, I mean, I do burn another life sigil. Damn it. After that, we pretty much wrap up the fight without any other issues. Not this time, buddy. Kapoop.
Azric's life signal is still active. It is transmitting now from the Hell
What
Dimension.
a rat. Like, my side hurts. Oh. He was a good boy. Welcome back.
Vera. Are you all right?
I am.
What I mean, I'll be in stuff if you guys want to come along. Why are those guys not even like wearing any armor? They're just like there. She's gonna like snap her fingers.
Lead Azric to the Slayer.
Draw the horde to us.
Who's walking? It's like, okay. Well, here we go again. We're going our way through Hell's forces, taking the occasional dirt nap to rest along the way. We eventually make it through the seemingly endless rounds of demons and make it to the castle. It's fight time? Fight club? Jump, Doom Guy, jump.
You know, for being like probably like 3 tons, I jump pretty damn good. You pooping your pants yet? Blah blah blah, more demon fights, and now it's big fight time. This time with a witch in the mix. This fight is also kind of underwhelming. Azrak has a very similar moveset to the last fight, and the witch has some pretty basic and slow projectile attacks. They do both take turns having a force field during this fight, which is slightly annoying when it's on Azrak, as he's the only one that's really up in your face a lot and doesn't teleport around, so he's much easier to hit consistently. Neither of you guys are doing a very good job at this whole living thing.
I command the Horde. Kill me, and this war will never end.
What is strange is that when we defeat the witch, whom he had shared a health bar with, he regenerates all his health, and the fight just continues. I feel like 2 separate health bars would have made a lot more sense, but I imagine this was due to how they wanted the story/fight to play out. Either way, Azrak was even more of a pushover this time, but before we knew it, we were wrapping that up as well.
Okay, that was not even a warning. I mean, I'm critical health, but oh well. Where's the other magic lady? Come on. You should be dead. What even is that? Why is she looking like she's gonna go boom? Oh, because she is. Yeah, you might want to move. Sorry, guys. He's still alive? There's no way. I'm confused. Or is missing half his arm? Damn. Kinky.
Any word?
No one has seen him since the assault.
We are much better off with him on his own. And you, young sentinel. Your father tells me great things about you.
Thank you, sir. The Maker's Church has disavowed all actions taken by the Creed. They give their word he was acting alone, and they'll bring justice to anyone that collaborated with them.
We'll move forward with our own Inquisition, quietly.
It is time to look forward. We will always be a people of faith. But we must consider now who we will put that faith in. And I say to you, there is no better place to turn to than ourselves. This is our home, and we will stand together to the last sentinel to defend it. As we have before, as our ancestors did, as we always will. And lastly, I'll ask you to join me now in paying our respect to him. The people of Argent-Denur rest easier now, knowing he is out there.
Wreaking mayhem? Oh. Why are they here? They didn't try to lock me up again, did they?
Targets identified.
Oh, is this where I get my Fortress of Doom from? Is that I took it from this guy?
Slayer, prepped for launch.
And this brings us to the end of the main campaign, but there is a lot of work still to do. Before starting, I did turn the difficulty down to the lowest, or at least the lowest I thought was possible. I began running missions that weren't at 100% yet.
What? That is dumb. It's kind of fun, but like, yeah, you just don't have, why aim at anything?
During this time, I also focused on completing weapon mastery challenges that need to be done as well to complete 100%. These are unlocked when a weapon is fully upgraded, so some weapons like the combat shotgun and super shotgun were completed when I did my original playthrough, as they were maxed sooner and used more often. It is also now, I noticed that the game gives you more resources than required to upgrade every piece of gear in the game. So I end up spending a bunch of extra time collecting gold that is essentially useless besides for me to be able to see 100% at the main loading screen. But I'm still going to do it anyways. I do notice that it's getting a little bit difficult to get headshots with the Impaler with the lowest difficulty, as it gives you some really weird bullet tracking aim assist, which makes the headshot mastery challenge actually more difficult. Overall, the progress for completing 100% was going pretty well. The only issue I really had along the way that I needed to actually Google stuff was on the 2 dragon missions we had, as we were missing items that were hidden in very obscure places, and I ended up looking them up online after I couldn't find them after a pretty decently long time. But maybe I'm just bad. While working my way through the next non-dragon mission, and changing the difficulty back to recruit, as the game seems to want to reset it back to nightmare every single time I reload, I noticed that there is a modifier section, and I can not only speed up the game, I can increase the damage I deal to demons, which allows me to run through levels way easier and collect a handful of missing gold and challenges I need still.
I'm so fast.
If you feel like this is cheating, feel free to comment and tell me how much of a fraud I am. I finally am able to complete all my weapon mastery challenges, rounding it off with a grenade launcher.
There's an achievement, all weapon mastery, let's go!
Grab my last codex entry, mission challenge, and collectible for the last 3 achievements. But I'm still missing some gold. So we go back at a breakneck speed, and there you have it.
1, 2, 3, 4.
be all beautiful and completed. I hope you guys enjoyed my suffering. If you did, you know what to do. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all in the next one, even if it's 9 months in the future. Take care, all. Happy holidays. Peace. Nah, I'm just kidding. Here's your guys' codex.